Captain Vera Talon watched the Vraxian Pride in perfect formation on the landing platform of Outpost Meridian. Their obsidian scales shimmered under the station's dim lights, their intimidating crests raised high in a display of dominance that made them the most feared predators across 3 sectors. She observed them through the viewport of her freight runner, the stray dog, as they prepared to depart. At the edge of the platform sat 2 small cubs. One had mottled scales instead of the pure black of the Pride, marking him as an anomaly, an outcast. The other had lost the tip of her tail in an accident, making her appear damaged. Both cubs sat side by side, watching the transport that would carry the rest of their pride away. Vera had seen that posture before. It was the same as abandoned animals at shelters, orphans left on institutional doorsteps. It was a look of someone who knew they weren't wanted. The Pride matriarch, Kester, approached the cubs. Vera could see the disdain in Kester's body language, a dismissive lash of a tail, the subtle opening of a mouth to reveal rows of sharp crystalline teeth. Not quite a threat, but close enough. The cubs pressed against the cold deck plating, submitting to the silent rejection. The massive Vraxian leader turned away from the cubs and boarded the transport. One by one, the other Vraxians followed without acknowledging the young ones. As the transport engines roared to life, lifting off the platform in a wash of superheated exhaust, the cubs stayed motionless, their eyes following the departing Pride. They didn't move. They didn't run. It was as if they had given up. "What's going on down there?" Marcus, Vera's pilot, asked, walking up beside her. "That's Pride culling," Vera said quietly, her eyes never leaving the cubs. "The cruel kind." Vera turned sharply and grabbed her environment suit from the hook near the airlock. "Tell the crew we're delayed by 90 minutes, she instructed Marcus, her tone firm. "Captain, what are you?" But Vera was already through the airlock. The cold air of the station met her as her boots echoed on the metal stairs that led down to the platform. The cub's head swiveled toward her approach, muscles tensing. Vraxians were dangerous predators, even as juveniles. But the cubs didn't run. Perhaps they were too tired, too broken to fight. Vera stopped several meters away, giving them space. She lowered herself slowly into a cross-legged position, her posture open, non-threatening. "Hey there," she said softly. "Rough day." The mottled cub's amber eyes locked with hers. He didn't speak, but the hurt in his gaze spoke volumes. The female cub remained silent as well. Vraxians could speak most trade languages, but for now, the silence between them was answer enough. "I saw what happened," Vera continued. "Your pride left you." The female cub's tail twitched, a sign of distress. "Want to know something?" Vera asked, her voice calm. "Humans don't really do the pride thing. Not like you guys. Actually, we're weird. We'll take just about anything in if we think it needs help. Dogs, cats, birds, lizards, malfunctioning drones. Hell, I once knew a woman who adopted a colony of sentient moss." The mottled cub's head tilted slightly, perhaps curious or simply surprised that the human was still speaking. Vera smiled gently. "Where I come from, there's an old saying, one person's trash is another person's treasure. It means that just because someone doesn't see your value, it doesn't mean you don't have any. It just means they're too stupid to recognize it." The female cub made a noise that was part hiss, part chirp, a soft sound of uncertainty. "My ship needs new crew members," Vera continued, as if the idea had just occurred to her. "Someone with sharp eyes, someone who can move quietly for security checks, someone not afraid of hard work. The stray dog isn't fancy, and the work isn't glamorous, but we're loyal to each other. We don't leave people behind, and we sure as hell don't judge anyone by their birth." The cubs' heads lifted slightly, their ears forward. Vera stood up slowly, brushing off his suit. "So here's my offer. Your pride said you're not good enough for them. I say that's their loss and my gain. You want a place to belong. You've got one. No questions asked, no judgment." She extended both hands, palms up, a universal gesture of peace. For a long moment, the cubs just stayed at her hands. Then, with hesitant movements, the mottled cub reached out and placed his small, clawed paw in Vera's right palm. The female cub followed suit, gently placing her paw in Vera's left hand. Their scales were warm, their paws trembling slightly, their uncertainty palpable. "Good choice," Vera said, a grin spreading across her face. "Come on, let's get you somewhere warm, get some food in you, and introduce you to the crew." Fair warning, Marcus tells terrible jokes, and our engineer, Dev, sings off-key, but they are good people. As they walked back toward the stray dog, the model cub looked up at Vera with those bright amber eyes. For the first time, she saw something other than hurt. She saw hope. 4 months later, the stray dog was docked at a trade hub in the Outer Rim when Vera received a message. It was from Kesta, the Vraxian matriarch. She wanted the cubs back. Apparently, after seeing reports from other traders who'd witnessed the cubs' work on Vera's ship, the Pride had reconsidered. They had value after all. Vera read the message twice before walking down to the cargo bay where Zee and Nia, as they had named themselves, were helping Dev secure shipment containers. The cubs had grown in the past 4 months, not much in size, but in confidence. They laughed at Marcus' jokes now, and Dev had taught them how to play cards. They had even picked up swearing in 6 languages. "Z, Nia," Vera called as she approached them. "You've got a message. Your old Pride wants you back." For a moment, the cubs' crests flattened, their bodies stiffening. They exchanged a look, then glanced around the cargo bay at the familiar faces of the crew. The stray dog had become home. "What do you want to do?" Vera asked gently. Z looked at her, his voice steady. "What did you tell them?" Vera smiled. "Haven't replied yet. I wanted to ask you first. It's your choice, kids. Always will be." Both cubs were quiet for a moment. Then their crests rose, and their tails flicked with something that looked a lot like confidence. "Tell them," Nia said clearly, "that the cubs they threw away don't need them anymore. We've got a Pride. A better one." Vera's smile widened. "You heard them, Dev. Let's get these containers secured. We've got cargo to haul, and a galaxy to explore." As they walked away, Vera composed a brief reply to Kesta. "Your loss, our gain. We're keeping them." The message was blunt, unapologetic, and completely indifferent to Vraxian politics. But as Zee and Nia's laughter echoed through the cargo bay, Vera knew she had made the right call. The galaxy was full of those who had been cast aside, and humanity had always had a knack for gathering them up and giving them a home. It was perhaps the most human thing of all.